If I give you 5 seconds to find the square root of 13,924, can you find the square root? Now, let's give you 5 seconds. Time is up. Were you able to get the solution? The method that I'm about to show you will give you the answer within 5 seconds. Let's go ahead and do that. First thing first, you need to know what your squares, that's your squares from 1 to 20. This is what I mean. 1 squared is equals to 1, 2 squared is equals to 4, 4 squared is equals to 16, 5 squared gives you 25, 6 squared gives you 36, 7 squared gives you 49, 8 squared gives you 64, 9 squared gives 81, 10 squared gives 100. We all can relate to this. It is very easy. Let's say it's a basic knowledge in square root. But when we get to 11 squared to 20, this might be a bit harder for some of us. That's 11 squared, 12 squared, 13 squared, 14 squared, 15 squared, 16 squared, 17 squared, 18 squared, 19 squared, 20 squared. Most of us might not find it funny as to give the square root of 11 to 20. Unlike 1 to 10 can easily give us the answer to 1 squared to 10 squared. Unlike 11 squared to 20. Now, I am going to give you a shortcut on how to get the squares of 11 to 20. Remember, this is just basic to the main question we are asked to solve. We need to just get the basis so that we're able to solve this easily. Now, 11 squared, we all know that is 121. Now, I want you to notice something. We added 21 to get 121 in 11 squares. Now, we're adding 2 to whatever we have. That's we keep adding 2 to this 121. This is what I mean. Since we have 21, we added 21 here, adding 2, let's say 21 here, which we added to get 121 in 11. Add 2. If we add 2 here, we have 23. If we add 2, another 2, we have 25. If we add another 2, we have 27. If we add another 2, we have 29. If we add another 2, we have 31. If we add another 2, we have 33. Add another 2, we have 35. Add another 2, we have 39. If we add another 2, we have 41. Let's stop here. We might not even use everything. Add this 20 because we added 21 to get 121 for 11 squared. The next thing is to do is to add this 23 to 21. When 3 adds to 1, we have 4. When 2 adds to 2, we have 4. So 12 squared is 144. 13 squared will give us, when 5, let's cancel this so that we know the one we've done. 25 adds to 144. When 5 adds to 4, we have 9. When 2 adds to 4, we have 6. And then 169. We've gotten this. To get 14 squared, when 9 adds to 7, we have 6. That's 16. Remaining 1. When 2 adds to 6, we have 8 plus 1. We have 9. We bring down 1. And we've done this. So the next one is 15 squared. When 9 adds to 6, we have 15. We write 5. Carry 1. When 2 adds to 9, we have 11 plus 1. We have 12. Write 2 plus 1. We have 2. 225. Now we go for 16 squared. We've done this, so we cancel. 31 adds to 225. We have 1 adds to 5 gives us 6. 3 adds to 5 to 2 gives us 5. We now bring down 2. So we go for 17 squared. Cancel this. When 3 adds to 256, we have 3. When 3 adds to 6, we have 9. When 3 adds to 5, we have 8. Bring down 2. Likewise, 18 squared. When 5, let's cancel this. When 5 adds to 9, we have 14. We write 4. Carry 1. When 3 adds to 8, we have 11. Plus 1, we have 12. We write 2. Carry 1 and add it to here. 2 plus 1 gives us 3. We cancel this. Next, we add that 7. When 7 adds to 4, we have 11. When 3 adds to 2, we have 5. Plus 1 remaining in the 11, we have 6. Then we bring down 3. So we now have for 20 squared. If you add this, we've already done 37. Then cancel it. For 20 squared, if you 39 to 61, we have 400. Let's check it out. When 9 adds to 1, we have write 0. When 3 adds to 6, we have 9 plus 1, we have 10. Write 0 again. Then when we bring down 3 plus the one that is remaining, we have 4. And this is 400. So having this in mind, we will proceed. This is how I remember. That's 11 squared to 20 squared, because already we all have this as a basic knowledge, but this one most times is somehow, like saying, boring to remember. Then back to our main gist, which is to find the square root of these numbers. Let's start with the smallest number, which is this one, after which we get to this, which is also here. Now let's start with the smallest number. We are asked to find the square root of 324. We are going to take note of the last digit, which is 4. That is, which number will you square and the answer answer gotten will be 4. And if you look at the numbers in the squared numbers here, we have only 2 because 2 squared gives you 4. Likewise, 8 squared gives 64. Therefore, our answer is going to end with either 2 or 8. Why? Because they are 2 squared, which when squared, we give the answer ends with 4. That's 2 squared gives you 4 and 8 squared gives you 64. Now, that should not bother us because we have the solution to it. Firstly, we cancel the first 2 digits in the square root. That these 2 digits, first 2, that's from the right. We cancel it. After that, we have these 3 remaining. Now, we now ask ourselves, what number will be squared that will give us number that is very close to 3 but not more than 3? So, what number can we square that will give us a number that is very close to no more than 3? If you look at our squared numbers, 2 squared will give us 4 and 4 is more than, so it can only be 1 squared. So the answer is 1. So definitely our answer is either 12 or 18. That's by adding this 1 in front of them. So how do we know if the answer is either 12 or 18? If we remember, what we have is 1. That is the which when squared that will give us a number that is very close to 3 but it's not more than 3. We have 1 here, and after 1 we have 2. So 1 multiplies 2 will still give us 2. Now you will compare these 2 and 3. Which one is larger or bigger? 3 is bigger than, so because 3 is bigger than these 2, we will take the larger number from either 12 or 18. So 18 is the larger number and the square root of 324 is equals to 18. You are free to press your calculator and confirm this. Note, assuming 2 or assuming is less than the answer we got here, we are going to pick the smaller number. But since 3 is larger than the number we got here, we are going to pick larger number. Just like I said, you can press your calculator. Now, let's solve another example so that you understand this better. Let's solve the second one. The second one is square root of 4,489. So we choose again. We concentrate on the last number, which is 9. And then we look out for 2 numbers, which when squared, the answer will end. That's the last digit of the answer will be 9. We looked at the number and the number are 3 squared, which is 9 because 3 is one of our squared numbers. Also, 7 squares gives us 49 and 9 ends is the last digit in 49. Likewise, 9 in 3 squared. So it means that our answer will either end with 3 or 7. How do I even figure that out? Have you noticed that when you have 3, the next number, when you add it, you will get 10, will be 7. Just like previously, we have 2 and 8. That's when we solve this square root. We had 2 and 8. 2 squared will give us number that ends with 4. Likewise, 8 squared that will give us number that ends with, which is 4 and 64. Then, when you add 2 to 8, it gives us 10. So that was how I figured it out. So immediately you get the first one, just add whatever number that will make it up to 10. That will be the second number. That is how I remembered it as well. It means that the answer we are going to get here will end with either 3, 7. Next, we cancel the last 2 digits. That is, we cancel 89 in this square root and we have 44 left. The next thing to do is to find the number which when squared will give us a number that is very close to 44, but it will not be more than 44. If you look at it, it cannot be 7 squared because 7 squared is 49 and 49 is more than 44. So instead of 7 squared, we are going to have 6 squared because 6 squared is 36 and 36 is not more than 44 but is below 44. So our answer is going to be 63 or 67. So how do we know whether it is 63 or 67? Remember, after 6 we have 7. 6 multiplies 7 will give us 42. The next thing to do is to compare 42 and 44. If you notice, 44 is larger than 42. That means we are going to take the larger number here. Assuming this 42 is larger than this 44, it means we are going to take the smaller number. So with the larger number we are going to take, since 44 is larger than 42, will be 67. It simply means that the square root of 4,489 is 67. You can press your calculator again to confirm this. Now, let's solve the next one. The last 2 numbers have 5 digits. Remember, when we have a bigger number which is 5 digits, it means that we have different different approach here. Meanwhile, before we start solving these last two digits that have 5 digits, let's solve this one first and then we enter into solving this 5-digit number. So let's solve this. That's square root of 9,604. If you notice, we have the last number to be 4. Thus, we need two numbers that if you square the number, the last digit of the answer gotten from the square root of that number will be 4, right? So if we check our square numbers, it's either 2 or 8. So our answer is going to end, that's the last digit of the answer we are going to get will either be 2 or 8, because if we square 2, it will give us 4, and if we square 8, it will give us 64, which is the same. Last digit in their square root is the same with the 4 we have here. So the next thing to do is to cancel the last two digits in the number we are going to square, and we are left with 96. So now, which number, which when squared, will give us a number that is close to 96, but is not larger than 96. And if we check our squared number here, that number can only be 81. It can't be 100 because 100 is larger than 96. So the number that is not larger than 96 is 81. And the number which when squared that gives us 81 is 9. And 81 is not larger than 96, right? Because we are looking for a number that will be very close to 96, but will not be larger than 96. And this gives us that our answer will either be 92 or 98. Now, after 9, we have 10. That's after the 9 that gave us the number that is very close to 92, we have 10. And 9 multiplies 10 gives us 90. And if you check, let's compare this 90 with this 96. If we compare, then you notice that 96 is larger than 90. Assuming 90 is larger than 96, now we are going to take the smaller number here. But since 96 is larger than 90, we are going to take 98. Therefore, it means that the square root of 9,604 is equals to 98. You can also press your calculator to confirm it. Now, let's talk about the largest number here, which is the square root of 13,924. If you notice, this is 5-digit number, unlike the ones we've been solving before, which are 4-digit number. So there will be a slight difference in our approach. When you have 5-digit number, that means your answer should be coming from this part of the squared number. That's 11 squared, 20 squared, right? This is what I mean. Remember that we look at the last digit number. That we are going to look at this last digit number, which is 4. Now we look out for two numbers that their square ends with 4, and that is 2. Of course, that's 2 ends with 4, and the next number will be 8. That's 2 or 8. I've explained this before. Now we should cancel the last two digits. Cancel this, and we are left with 1039. Now we focus on 139, that's this first 3 digits, and we now ask what number that will be squared to give us a number that is close to 139 but not larger than 139. If you notice, when we look here, 12 cannot be the number because square root of 12 is 144, and we are looking for the number which when squared will be close to 139 here, but will not be larger than 139. So 12 cannot go, but 11 can, because 11 squared is 121, and 121 is not larger than 139. So it means that our answer will either be 112 or 118. And how do we know this? Just like I explained, the number which when squared that will give us number that is close to 139 is 11, and after 11 we have 12. Therefore 11 multiplies 12 will give us 132. And if we shake, we now confirm or cross-check 139 and 132. And if we cross-check between 139 and 132, you notice that 139 is larger than 132. Assuming 132 is larger than 139, we will choose the smaller number. But here, 132 is smaller than 139, and 139 is larger. Therefore, we choose the larger number. And what does it mean? It means that the square root of 13,924 is equals to 118. That is 118, and this is our answer. You can also press your calculator again. Now, I would like you to solve this and drop your answer in the comment section. If you find this video helpful, please don't forget to share and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. See you in our next amazing video. Bye.